Yesterday, a netizen in the comments section asked me to talk about China's overcapacity problem. This concept was invented by American officials, mainly to attack China's large-scale exports of electric vehicles and other industrial products. To be honest, I thought that few people would care about such a joke. But I searched on YouTube and found that Western politicians really discuss this topic seriously, especially the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen. Since she is mentioned, let's start with her. As a German, you should understand that German cars are exported all over the world. If German brands such as Volkswagen, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW are not exported, can they be digested by the German market alone? Does Germany have overcapacity? You should reduce production capacity and reduce exports, right? If every country consumes its own products, what is the point of international trade? France exports wine and perfume to the world. Is it also overcapacity? Spain exports a large amount of pork to China. Is it also overcapacity? The US operating system and tool software monopolize the world. Is it overcapacity? Intel, AMD, and Nvidia's chips are exported in large quantities. Is it also overcapacity? American officials say that China has overcapacity for the national interests of the United States, and they are playing dumb. As the President of the European Commission, have you also become a spokesperson for American interests? Have you considered the interests of Europe, especially Germany, when you led Europe to such a mess? Since the Nord Stream pipeline was blown up by the United States, Germany's energy prices have soared and the economy has declined. It is the only country in the world's developed countries with negative growth. Shouldn't you question your American master? By the way, many companies that moved out of Germany went to the United States. Because the United States is snatching Germany's manufacturing industry through its strong dollar and energy advantages. China is Germany's largest automobile consumer market. German cars have always been ranked first in sales in China. When Volkswagen and Audi lost their competitiveness due to burning oil, it was Chinese consumers who ignored the economical and durable Japanese cars and bought them in large quantities. Therefore, Volkswagen is not a rival to Toyota in the world, but in China, Japanese cars can never challenge the status of German cars. But when the Chinese find out that you European countries are attacking China from behind, the Chinese will also be angry and will abandon Volkswagen, Audi, and BMW. China sells 30 million cars a year, which is the sum of the United States, Japan, and Europe. If you Europeans don't allow Chinese electric cars to enter, the Chinese will buy them themselves. Does the performance of German cars in the Chinese market this year make you feel what a cold winter is? To put it bluntly, Americans still have the capital to fight a trade war and a technology war with China. What qualifications does the EU have to show its teeth to China? If it weren't for China's desire to befriend countries like Germany and Hungary, do you think China would have endured until now with France and those small countries in Eastern Europe? If Europe wants to fight a trade war, China will fight to the end. But Trump came to power. Are you panicking? He wants to increase taxes on Europe. By the way, if China wants to surrender, it must surrender to the United States. And China will definitely deal with you clowns and use punishing Europe as a condition for surrendering to the United States to reduce China's losses. Isn't green energy what the EU has been promoting? In order to curb developing countries, you joined the United States to promote green energy and held a climate conference in Paris. You want to use carbon taxes to build economic barriers to prevent being overtaken by developing countries. However, China has taken a leading position in the field of new energy. Do you want to regret it? US President Trump directly said that global warming is a lie, and you followed suit and said that China has overcapacity. The law that bans all fuel vehicles in Europe by 2030 has been changed, right? Will you not mention environmental protection in the future? Don't be naive. When it comes to environmental protection and human responsibility, China is ahead of you. If you don't talk about environmental protection, let alone Chinese companies, Southeast Asian countries can beat you. You can just wait to farm in the future. As for developing industry, dream on. In the past, developing countries did not have technology, but now with China, technology is not a problem. We patiently communicate with you, discuss the common responsibility of mankind, and discuss green energy. That is to preserve the last dignity for you in Europe. Do you really think you are important? As for the United States, there is no need to hide it. It is just that in key industries such as new energy and electric vehicles, you don't want China to lead. There is no need to use overcapacity as a pretext, just say it directly. But the problem is that the US electric vehicle industry chain is imperfect. It will take many years to reach the level of China. Can American auto companies under tariff protection really catch up with the technological innovation of Chinese companies? Half of Tesla's cars are produced in the Shanghai factory in China. The supply chain is the same as that of Chinese companies, but its cost is still much higher than that of Chinese auto companies, indicating that there are also problems with cost management of American companies. These problems cannot be solved by relying on tariff barriers. Unless you don't use electric cars, but other countries in the world will. Electric cars are cheaper and more environmentally friendly. Who can resist money? Overcapacity is a false proposition. If the cars produced in China cannot be sold, the company will lose money, and naturally, it will not produce so many, and the production capacity will go down. If China produces a lot of electric cars, but all of them are sold, it is not called overcapacity. If you take the isolationist route and reverse the economic globalization, China will still have the world's largest consumer market, as well as Southeast Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, Russia, and Africa, which are all vast markets. Isolationism is definitely a dead road of no return. If you don't believe it, you can try it.